Having hustled our way out of our home base airfield and through the nastiest of weather, we finally made the coast. And here Jeff Dyer and myself, Steve McCurragh, Battalion members, rounding the Durban Harbour entrance en route to Phinda Private Game Reserve in Zululand, South Africa, where we're going to make a sizzle reel, but more about that later. With our loose formation of 2 aircraft passing Virginia Airport of Durban and then on past the seaside resort town of Umhlanga. Passing the Matikulu estuary with all its beauty and splendor, we then flew into some proper rain. And there was much discussion on the radio about how much further, can you see the next ridge, what is our escape route, do we continue? And it really was testing. And then finally, arriving at Phinda and turning onto their runway, albeit that it was still raining, it was a great relief to have arrived at our destination. On a runway made for King Airs and private jets, I didn't want to taxi forever, so I flew about 2/3 of it off and landed just at the far end only. Taxiing in to a standstill, the usual looks of jubilation are replaced with that of an obvious tension from having had a very testy flight. And the rain can still be heard on the outside of the aircraft. Jeff and Dale really couldn't believe that I'd taken my dodgy sliding window and just completely removed it. And there we were flying in these conditions with the rain coming in, but no window. Anyway, it was then time for covers on, trying to keep the rain out, and tomorrow will be another day. The next morning, Dale took the controls, and he was right onto it. Some previous experience and a natural aptitude for the flying had him completely at ease and flying the little Rainbow Cheetah like an old hand. Got it?
That's the only tricky thing for me is getting in and out. Got short legs.
Fallout.
So, yeah, that's how I feel.
Our work here this morning is the gathering of raw video material, which we will in turn send through to a producer in the United States of America, who will be making for us the sizzle reel that you heard about a little earlier. And the sizzle reel being something that he will then in turn present to the big broadcast channels, with a view to the battaliers having a series made about the work that we do. And it's extremely exciting that we might have a depiction sometime soon of a day in the life of a battalier pilot. Accompanying me on this flight is Charlie, head ecologist for Phinda, along with her telemetry tracking in order for us to go and search for an elephant herd, where in that herd is a young bull who reportedly has managed to get a snare onto his trunk. You can imagine that that needs some urgent attention, so the hunt was on. This little bit is especially for my mate Clinton, who hates my swirls and twirls. Yeehaw! Anyway, while we were out there, we did a low pass on what has been earmarked and located as a potential great outfield airstrip for when work is happening in the bush, and then these strips become a valuable part of the working environment. And we bid farewell to Jason Quick, who heads up the Zooland anti-poaching patrol. He had graciously come through for the morning to assist us with the making of our sizzle reel, and it was time for him to get going and get back out there on patrol. And here they come, the big guns. And we all know that the person who last wants a camera pointed at them is a photographer. And it starts with a bit of shaking of the aircraft, just to tease me. Of course they took full advantage and wound me up as much as they could. Videographer Clinton Gray goes for nothing less than perfection. Here he comes to adjust the lapel mic, which was taped onto the inside of my peak cap, and as with all of his work, it only passes if it's perfect.
I need to be stopped.
It was great to have Donovan Bailey, director with the Battliers, also come fly in for the day with us and bringing along much needed kit and the all-important refreshments for the day. Folds of Project Rhino very kindly brought along with him Indiseni Kumede, a legend of a ranger in his time and compatriot of the late Ian Player. Indiseni regaled us with a story about the baboons in the bush.
Nina faka lapha emoto. Faka lapha umunye faka lapha phambili. 2.
The gathering of this material for our sizzle reel would never have happened without the kind help and support of all those who were involved. The Battliers would like to thank you. Without you, it would not have been possible.